Might wanna buckle up, baby.
Punch it! I'm Hannah, and welcome to another episode of That's Just Crait, the podcast where we talk about everything that we think is great about a galaxy far, far away. This week, it's the Hannah and Logan show again. Woohoo!
Part 2.
Part
Yay.
2 of the Hannah and Logan show. I promise it'll be less chaotic this time.
Probably. We'll see how it goes.
Yes.
We'll see if we stay on track.
Let's hope. I think most of the episode today will kind of be staying on target. So hopefully we can. The Hannah show. Yeah, I have some cool things to talk about. But why don't we hear what you've been up to first, Logan? I've
been up to exactly nothing.
What?
This entire week. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. Yeah, because I'm back in school, and so I'm not having as much time to watch The Mandalorian as much as I'd like to. But also, I've been spending a lot of my free time watching other movies that I haven't seen for the first time. I watched Jaws for the second time ever on like... God, I hope you didn't freeze. Yeah, you froze. Okay. I've been seeing movies that I haven't seen before, or like rewatching them for the first time, and so it's been pretty fun. I watched I did like a week where I watched Uncut Gems and The Shining and Bottoms and now Jaws, all in the same week. So it's very, very good, because when I tell people that I'm studying film and I tell people that I haven't watched these, they're like, "What do you mean you haven't watched these?" So it's nice to be able to catch up, but also it's good to watch it with like the way that my head is now, because I'm able to actually learn a lot more and pay attention to it, which I wouldn't always be able to do before.
That makes sense.
So it's been helpful for that. And yeah, so I mean, I'll get around to The Mandalorian eventually. Again, like, it's literally not that big of a deal to watch. So that's where I'm at. I haven't done anything past chapter 3 for The Mandalorian.
Okay.
I think I'm just dreading having to see Cara Dune. So maybe I'll just fast forward that one.
Yeah. Awkward. But
what about you?
So
all right, get into it.
Yeah. I had an exciting past week. I went to Dragon Con this past Saturday, just for the one day. It was kind of a last minute thing. My friend Cyrus got the passes and we went. I unfortunately do not have a fully completed Star Wars cosplay to wear, though, so I wore my Agatha cosplay, which came in the mail just in time. Thank you. I was so obsessed with it. I think it would the
photos that you took were incredible.
Thank you. I also have some more. We actually Dragon Con has like professional cosplay photographers there that you can pay and get a photo shoot done. And so me and Cyrus did a joint session together, and the pictures turned out really good, but I just want to edit in like our witchy powers and stuff. But
yeah, Cyrus was on that dress as Scarlet Witch, right?
Yes. And she looked amazing.
Gotcha. Incredible, both of you guys.
Thank you. But yeah, so I went as a Marvel character, but I may have met a Star Wars person if you have already seen my tweet, as I'm sure y'all have. John Boyega was there. So that was really awesome. I kind of once I saw that he was going, I really jumped on the opportunity to go. Oh my god.
I'm not the entire recording, and I've got to be quiet because I'm about to go to bed, but I wanted to pop in.
Jacob just jump scared me.
That was the idea.
What
Logan, I was going to text you a picture of and I hope you leave this in the podcast if the audio sounds good.
Oh, but Logan, leave that part in.
Logan, I was going to send you while you guys were recording. I was going to just text Logan this Lego mock that I saw that I felt like he would appreciate. It's literally the mechs they make for like the minifigures. Like the Luke mech looks like an X-Wing. It's that, but it's mechs for Jabba and Rada.
Send it to me, King.
And Logan, there was another one, and it was like they took the Jabba minifigure and they just took off the tail parts and they made like robot legs, like Darth Maul robot legs.
Oh, I've seen that one. Yeah, I've seen that one.
Well, maybe I can mess up the recording. I hope my audio. I'm just using my phone. But I
Oh my
literally just
God.
wanted to pop in
Yeah,
and say
well, you're
hello and
doing
make a
amazing.
cameo appearance on the podcast. Dude, exactly,
A cameo
dude,
appearance on
sometimes
the
you just gotta
podcast that you
leave like that element
co-host.
of surprise in,
Right?
Logan. You gotta keep the people on their toes, you know? Well, I'm gonna let you guys go back to whatever you were talking about.
Yeah, you're right.
But to everybody listening,
Yeah.
if this part of the podcast is let in, just know that I'll be back in the next episode.
You'll see.
And I'm glad that I could somehow return for just a moment. Enjoy hearing Hannah talk about Dragon Con or whatever they were talking about before.
Oh my god, he somehow
Okay, then that
he
was
figured out a
perfect.
way to do it.
Awesome. Well, I'm gonna go to
I
bed
was
now,
talking about
but
Dragon
I'll
Con.
talk
Yeah,
to
he
you
was
guys
talking about
later.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yep.
Okay, bye,
Bye.
Jacob.
Everybody say bye, Jacob. Jacob still manages to interrupt Hannah on episodes that he's not even
Right?
on.
It's funny because I was about to make a joke about there not being a somehow returns joke, but
Yeah,
there we go. We're never gonna escape it.
you can't stop it. Anyways, so
So
you found out that John
anyways,
Boyega was
John
there.
Boyega was going, and which I was sad about because I actually, even though I have lived near Atlanta all my life, most of my life, I have never been to Dragon Con. But there's also been a few years where like I look at who's going to be there, and there hasn't really been many people that I'd be interested in meeting. And I feel like I rarely see Star Wars people when I do go look. So when I looked and
Yeah.
saw John Boyega, I was like, "Oh my god, I'm going!"
Yeah.
Because like of all
Like he
people
hasn't
to
done a lot of
come,
conventions either.
no, he really has not. And like he even said something about that either in the panel or to one of the people in front of me in line when I met him at the table. But so they did on Saturday, they had a lot of like random Star Wars people there. Like none of them really went together.
Yeah.
But so they just had like an hour-long panel, and it was like a Q&A with Stars of Star Wars type thing. So it was John Boyega, Emily Swallow, Sam Witwer was there. Katie Sackhoff was only there on Friday, so I did not get to see her. So she was not there for the panel. But what's his face from The Mandalorian was also there. Gosh, why did I just forget his name?
Is it like it's like Axe Woe?
Simon Cassianandis. What?
Who does he play? I swear to God, if it's Axe Woes, I'm like,
Wait. I know him because he was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It
okay.
is X-Woves.
Oh my God, I swear. That was like the third name that I said.
Is it? It went in one ear
Yes.
and out the other.
Oh my
bad.
God.
Anyways. And then Diana Lee Inosanto, is that how you say her last name? She was also there.
I don't even. She the one that plays Morgan Elsbeth?
Yes, Morgan Ellis.
Oh my God. What a queen.
She was there. She was really cool and funny. She sat next to John during the panel, and they looked like they were having fun together. If we're going off characters, John Boyega, or not, John Boyega, Finn, Morgan Elsbeth, X-Woves, Darth Maul / Starkiller, and the Armorer.
/
So that
Dr.
was-
Palpatine in certain episodes of the Clone Wars.
That is true. So they were the Star Wars panel, and honestly, to my surprise, most of the people that got up to ask questions had questions for Sam. I would have thought that most of the questions asked in general were asked to the whole panel. But if there was ever a question for a single person, I would assume that more people would have questions for John Boyega, but it was Sam. We had a lot of Darth Maul fans there. So that was honestly kind of cool to see. And Sam was really enjoying the love. And if anybody saw my story, or I also posted it on Twitter, I think, but one kid got up there and was like, just saying how much he loved Maul and the Force Unleashed games. And then he was like, I have to ask, can you do the Kenobi scream? And he was like, and it was funny because he kind of like was doing a bit where he was like, oh, everybody always asks me to do it. And then John Boyega was like, I actually want to hear this too. So then after John said that, then he was like, okay, I'll do it. This is Finn, by the way. Finn wants to hear me do it. I'll do it. It was so funny.
That's so good. Yeah, I think I remember
But
you
yeah.
tweeted something about that or posted it or somewhere.
Yes.
That's really cool.
That was pretty epic. And Sam was hilarious because I think one of the questions to the overall cast was like, what was one of the most surreal moments that you had working on set for your show? Or they were like, or Sam, in your case, being in the booth. And Sam said that it was actually, he was like, some of y'all might not realize, like, I've worked with Star Wars for a long time because he's brought up when he was doing the Force Unleashed games. And then they brought him back to do Maul, obviously. And he said when they brought him back to do Maul, he did several meetings with Lucasfilm and stuff. And George Lucas would show up. And he would like ask him questions about like what the show's going to be like. What are they going to do with Maul since they're bringing him back? Like blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And then he goes into like this perfect George Lucas impression that I wish that I got a video of. I so wish that I got a video of it.
Oh my god,
because
I love
it was
George
the
Lucas
most
impressions.
It was the most spot on George Lucas impression I have ever heard in my life. And he even had it down to like the nonchalance in his tone. Because he'd just be like, well,
you know, like
we're gonna bring him back. And yeah, and he had the grumbling aspect to it down, and I was just
it'll
literally crying, laughing.
That is so funny.
It was hysterical.
So what'd you do after the panel?
After the panel, I went and got in line to meet John because I knew that he was going to be at his signing table right after. And the line honestly filled up real fast. We got there, and the way that it's set up is there's not a lot of room for lines. So like for the big name people, they have overflow line spaces. So we were immediately sent to the overflow line. But it honestly moved pretty quickly. So I was up there to meet him like under 30 minutes, I would say, which was pretty great. Because like when I met Ashley Eckstein for the first time at New York Comic Con, I think I sat in her line for 2 to 2.5 hours.
Oh my god.
I'm not even lying.
I don't think I could do that because like then I would just spend the entire time thinking about what I'm going to say.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I started to do that. Yeah. And I chatted with the girls in front of me when I met her. But it's also because like Ashley gives you all the time in the world to like talk with you. So that kind of adds to it. So I didn't care that much because of that. But good gosh. But a lot of people were showing love to John in the panel about how the fans really would love to see him back and how like we all like I don't think there was a single person in the room that would be anti Jedi Finn. And it really made it really made him feel like loved and welcomed, and he was like, guys, I want it too, come on now. So like when I got up to the table to meet him, I have you ever met anybody at a con like this?
Never like in a line.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever actually met anybody at a con. I've only ever like I think I've like talked to people at like booths, but like it was never like a photo op type of thing. Like I think I met the guy that plays Carl on The Walking Dead. Weirdly enough, I've never seen The Walking Dead, but it was very chill guy. Yeah.
Well, the way that they do it at cons typically, especially, it helps if you're getting something signed. Is they'll usually have a slip of paper or like a sticky note where they write your name on it and then they write down like what you're getting or whatever. So that way also like some people you can pay to get like a personalized message written on whatever you're getting signed and they'll write it down on the piece of paper for them to see. So they like slide my picture over to him and it has my name. So he looks at my sticky note and he was like, Hannah. And then he looks at me. And I'm still dressed as Agatha Harkness, by the way. I had plans to like change into my Superman t-shirt in the middle of the day just to get my selfie with John. But like I was getting so much love as Agatha that I was like, I gotta keep the costume on. I gotta keep it on. Because I was going to change right back, but and he was like, oh, whoa, what are you? Some like dark witch thing? And I was like, yeah, I'm Agatha Harkness. And he was like, oh my gosh, you look amazing. I'm obsessed with this. And he was like fangirling over my outfit for a second before we even started talking. And then he looked down. I picked the picture because they have 8x10 pictures that you can pick to get signed if you didn't bring something. Which, fun fact, for anybody that's never been to a con and you're listening, most of the time that's the cheaper option is to get a picture there. If you bring your own picture or your own object to get signed, it's usually a little bit of extra money. So I picked the picture of him. We can put a picture of this up on the screen in the video. But I picked the picture of Finn holding the lightsaber on Starkiller base from The Force Awakens. Because, you know, we need Jedi Finn back. And so he looked and he goes, oh, this is a good picture. And he was like, you know, I thought more people would pick this. And I was like, well, more people should. Because we need you back with a lightsaber. And I like said something along those lines. And he was like, hey, I'm just waiting for a phone call. I wouldn't say no.
Yeah.
And I was like, please. I was like, the people want Jedi Finn. And what I also think is cool.
I'm so happy that he's come back around to like being
know.
open to be in Star Wars again. It literally warms my heart because I remember just like
It does.
You know, all of his criticisms of how he was handled, I think, are perfectly valid. But it always made me sad just knowing that he wasn't satisfied with it. But now his like desire to come back is making me like really happy. And,
yes.
you know, I think it's always great like when like actors sort of like, you know, come back around on things that they've been in. Because I think every person should be proud of their work, you know.
Absolutely. And like even in the panel, like he was making a lot of jokes about like people would ask him something that normally like if somebody was actively filming, you could tell that they probably shouldn't answer it. But he'd be like, hey, I'm not under contract anymore. I can say whatever I want. And he was like not like blatantly throwing shade, but like just saying like, hey, I would like to expand on this in a way that I would have hoped it would have gone beforehand and stuff like that. And while he was signing the picture and we were talking about like Finn having a lightsaber, I brought up, you know, I was like, actually, like during like when the sequels were coming out, like I got really active on Twitter and I made a lot of friends who are still like really great friends with me today. And I brought up that we started this podcast and he was like, hey, that's so awesome. I was like, yeah. And we love you. We love Finn and we want you to come back. And he just like, you could tell it like, it genuinely warmed his heart that so many people are showing love for him and the character of Finn now because there was just so much backlash, I feel like, when the movies were actively coming out. But I did mention, like, we think for how Finn's story got wrapped up in The Rise of Skywalker, that I do think for how he was handled in the movies, it was a good ending. And he was like, yeah, man, I'd agree. And he was like, and I see everybody like talking about Stormtrooper rebellion type thing, and I do think that would be cool, and I'd just be happy to come back with whatever it would be. But I would like a lightsaber. I was like, me too.
I would love to know what his thoughts are, because like we're getting that book around him and Jenna. I would have loved to know like what he would have thought about like you know where like because I think it takes place after Rise of Skywalker, right?
I believe so.
It'd have to.
Yeah, I think Jacob would know more on this.
Cool,
but yeah,
like we're going to be getting some bit of more Finn lore. So that'd be a good start to back.
I don't know if he knows anything about that, but that would be cool.
I would I would let him know about it.
There was 2 more questions that are fresh on my mind during the panel that I want to mention. The first one, I tweeted about this, but somebody got up and he goes, this question's for everybody. What color lightsaber would you have? And so they started, I think they started with Sam, and he was like, well, I feel like I have to say red. But then he also, Sam said he likes Rey's lightsaber. He called it the Golden Blade, which, I mean, it is. So that's cool. Yeah. What did
God, I love that yellow.
Diana, I can't remember what Emily Swallow said. I think Diana said she liked purple. And then John Boyega said he liked purple. And then he thought for a moment and he was like, actually, what's the one that's a blaster? Ezra's lightsaber.
Oh, the Glock saber.
We were like, yeah, it's Ezra's. And then I even was like in the crowd, I was like, oh my God, the Glock saber. And then I heard somebody yell that and I was like, they're on Stan Twitter, whoever that was.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh my God. He just went, yeah, that one. Which honestly, give Finn a Glock saber. Like that'd be so cool.
Honestly, podcast, I would think it would be so awesome if Finn could like dual wield like a blaster and a lightsaber. It would be so sick to get that in live action.
That would be sick.
Honestly, yeah. Not to pivot to like Jedi Survivor for a second, but I love that stance so much in that
Well,
game.
I'll take any moment.
The way that it
That's my
flows.
other story from Dragon Con I have to say. We'll get to that in a
Oh
second.
yes, yeah.
That's a shorter story. The
Mhm.
other question I thought was really funny from the panel is somebody asked if anybody had celebrated a birthday on set and what that was like, or if anybody else that they were filming with celebrated a birthday, and nobody could really think of anything except for Diana said when they were filming, it was either The Mandalorian or Ahsoka, that it
Mhm.
was Dave Filoni's birthday, and they made tiny little Dave Filoni hats for all of them to wear.
Instead of like birthday hats.
Yes, and she said it
Oh
was
my
the
God,
most
that's perfect.
hilarious thing because they were still in costume. It was like in between takes, and they were
Yeah.
all wearing the tiny Dave Filoni hats, eating cake, and then they just
That is
went
so
back
funny.
to filming. And I was like, that is the most perfect thing ever. Like, I wouldn't expect them to celebrate Dave's birthday any other way.
Yeah.
But I also
That is
like
so
now I
perfect.
want to see pictures from that. Like, do they have set pictures? Because I need to see them.
I know someone's got to have them somewhere.
Show it to me, Rachel. But yeah, so
Wow.
my
Sounds like a good time.
Jedi, it was a good time. My Jedi game story. This was before I even got into the con, y'all. So me and Cyrus had just picked up our badges, and we were walking to the Marriott Marquis, which is where all the
Mhm.
panels and like the Celebrity Hall of Fame was, and where we spent most of our day. And something I did not know about Dragon Con until Cyrus told me that morning is every Saturday they have a parade, and it's like with a lot of the cosplay groups will enter in the parade, and like all of their members will walk in costume and
Mhm.
stuff like that. So they're taking up the street. So there's people in cosplay lining the sidewalks watching the parade. And if anybody's ever been to Atlanta, there's not a lot of sidewalk room. So you have to like squeeze through, and we're just like squeezing through the crowd trying to get to the Marriott. And we were walking behind this guy for a couple minutes, and he was wearing a Star Wars shirt. But I noticed at one point we had a larger opening in the crowd that he was wearing a crossbody bag, and it was one of those pin bags where like you can display all your pins. And they
Mhm.
were all Star Wars pins. Most of them were like Jedi game related, and he also had a little
Yeah.
figure of Cal Kestis in an ISB uniform. And once I saw that, I went, "Oh my god, I love your Cal Kestis!" Just because I was like, "I see Cal Kestis, I have to make friends." So then he
Yeah.
turned around and was like, "Oh my god, are you a fan of the games?" And I was like, "Yeah, they're like my favorite games in the world. I love Cal so much. Like he means so much to
Yeah.
me." And then he steps to the side. So I was like, "Oh, he wants to talk about this. Cool." So me and Cyrus stepped to the side. And he was like, "Oh, well, I have a sticker for you." And then he pulls out, it's a little sticker of BD1 and like a star map behind him, and it's holographic. I put it on my laptop already. And I was like, "Oh my god, BD1, I love this." And then he just drops the lore as I'm loving the sticker that he gave me. He goes, "I'm actually one of
Yeah.
the game developers."
Just
And
casually.
I like put my hands out and like dropped them by my sides, literally, and went,
Yeah.
"What?" And he just started laughing, and he was like, "Oh, yeah." And like another thing they do at Dragon Con is people will give out these ribbons that you can attach to the bottom of your badge, and a lot of them will correspond
Right.
with
I've
like
seen
cosplays and
those.
stuff. So he was like, "Oh yeah," and so he first handed me one, which I've seen other people get stuff with this, and it says the Pink
Mhm.
Poncho Club, and I was like, "Oh my god, I love this! I love Pink Poncho." And he was like, "Yeah, it's just so iconic, you know." And then he gave me another
Yeah.
one, which is my favorite one. I think it's really cool, and it's a data bank entry unlocked like
Oh
graphic
yeah,
like
that's
they
sick.
have in the
Yeah.
game, and it's called Find the Hidden Path, Encounter a Jedi Series Game Developer. And it had his little @ on it, and he goes, "There, you can follow me, and I'll follow you back, so you know I'm not bullshitting you." And I was like, "No, I believe you, dude. Like, what the
Yeah.
heck? This is
That's
so
so
cool."
funny.
So we just had like a little moment, and I went and followed him. He followed me back. So shout out Jordan, you're super cool. He's the UI director in the Jedi games, and we stan.
Mhm. Yeah, we
So
love
thanks
that.
for
We love the UI. It's
yeah.
so good. It's incredible.
But I was like, dude, what are the chances that I just on the street run into a
Yeah.
game developer of my favorite video game?
in Atlanta, of all places.
Right? That was
That's
just
really
so
funny.
crazy.
Wow. I heard most of these stories before, but it's so fun to hear them again just
You
because,
did.
meeting
Yes.
people from Star Wars is always such a joy. Like,
It really is.
I
Especially
I
people
don't
that
think
are
I've
involved.
yeah. I don't think I've ever proper met anyone that like worked on Star Wars. Like I've only ever seen like them from a distance.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for the day that I finally get to do that. Which may be
Yeah.
soon.
It should
Maybe.
be
Who
soon.
knows?
Fingers
Should be a little
crossed, dude.
soon. Yeah, so maybe I'll have some stories to tell in a couple weeks. We'll see about that.
I'm sure you will.
Yeah.
Exciting things coming.
Yeah. Do we want to pivot to some of the big news that dropped this week? Pretty much the only
I
news that we really had, as far
think
as I
we
know.
shall.
All right, guys, we can finally talk about it. We've avoided talking about the $1,000 elephant in the room for months, for reasons, but
Mhm.
we finally have confirmation and an official look at the Lego Ultimate Collector Series Death Star, the
Woo.
UCS Ultimate Collector Series Death Star. I believe it's 9,023 pieces. It's
Good
going to retail for
gosh.
$1,000. And we have official photos of it, and there's a turnaround, and there is like still life photos. Like we get to see like how it looks in like a room and stuff. And we get to look at the 38 minifigures that are included.
38 is
and I have
insane.
38 is insane. I think the Avengers Tower has just around 30. It might be 29 if you count like Ant-Man and Dummy and stuff. But
Oh my gosh.
I would love to know your thoughts, Hannah, before, because I have a ton of them, and
Yeah.
I need to ramble about them.
I know when we were first hearing the leaks and stuff that it was like a half thing, open front and like not a full Death Star. I was kind of like, well, what the heck?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Because I remember we had info that it wouldn't be a full sphere, and I was like, okay, cool. And I remember getting the measurements for it, and I was like, oh, it's gonna be like a half sphere, And then eventually there's like whispers around that it was not gonna be a half sphere, that it was just gonna be more of like a slice. And then I remember being like, oh, okay, weird, And then I ended up seeing the photos, and I was like, ah.
Yes.
And then I was like, I need to see
now that
these
I have
photos.
seen the pictures, I think it's really cool. Because
Oh, you
I
like it?
personally, I love the Lego sets that are like scenes, especially for Star Wars. I think it's
like
so cool.
dioramas, yeah.
Yeah, because you can make them super dynamic. But I also I feel like when it comes to Lego for me, I personally, I really like the minifigures more than I kind of like the Lego sets. And like, I've never really gotten Lego sets of my own until recently when I bought BD1, or like Kaylee just gave me the Tantive 4, which I love. But like before
really
then, it is a really good set. Before then, all I've gotten are like minifigs, or like I'll buy the tiny little ship sets that have a minifig for the minifig. And one thing I've always wanted, and I still just have never really done this for myself because I collect too many things, but like I would love to have a minifigure of all of my favorite characters from everything. So I love that there's so many minifigs.
You're like me.
Yeah, I love that there's so many in this set. But I also like, now that I've seen all the scenes, I think it's really cool. And there's even like the Imperial shuttle is in there.
Yeah, I think having the Lambda in there is actually crazy that they're able to do that at that scale and make it look presentable.
Yeah, like it looks, I think it works.
Yeah. A funny thing that I learned is that the designer of the Death Star is the same designer as the U-Wing and the Jabba sail barge. I think they said that those were his last two that he created, which are both fantastic sets. And honestly, it's a well-designed like model. I really
it really
like
is. It's
like
very dynamic.
Yeah.
Plus, we get these two
Galen
guys
Erso
right here.
and,
Yes,
Director Krennic.
When I saw that they were included in this, I like geeked. I was like, okay.
Yeah. I remember hearing I remember when I first saw the photos of it, and I saw the Galen Erso minifigure, and I like I got so distraught because I am like kind of collecting, not like kind of collecting. I was collecting for a bit the Rogue One minifigures. And I have like everybody besides like I mean, I have like all the main cast, you know, but I really just want to get Antok Merrick and
Okay.
like, you know, I need to get like Luthen. Like that's like the only two that I really need. But then I saw that we had Galen Urso, and I was like, man,
Yeah.
because I know that like Galen Urso is not going to pop up in another set ever. I don't think.
No.
Like he's one of those ones that's going to stay exclusive. And you know, it's good that we've had Krennic in the past, but he's another one of those ones where it's like I feel like Krennic's never going to pop up anytime soon in a more
Right.
affordable set.
I just think it's so cool that they were even included in this. Like, it's just.
I
such a
know.
cool little
I'm really
tidbit.
glad. It'd be so cool to have because there's a scene in there where it's the turbo laser, and you can totally just fit like Krennic and Tarkin, and then have like a few of the
Yeah.
gunners and stuff. And then there's like it's actually really cool. I saw there's like a sticker detail where it's Alderaan, and then like you can like slide a panel, and it shows like Alderaan being blown up. So like it'd be cool to sort of like have like the blown up one and make it look like Jeddah.
I didn't
you know?
see that.
Yeah.
Sorry, that just like hurt because the last chapter of The Princess and the Scoundrel that I was listening to today was talking about Alderaan, and so I'm like feeling a little emotional about it.
Yeah, you should take a look at it.
That's crazy.
But yeah, I have plenty of thoughts though, because I'm like on the fence about it so heavily. Like I am like 50. I think I 50% like it. You know.
Yeah.
I think now that I have photos and not like photos in hand, but like that I can get like a proper look at it and like see like the turnaround and like how it functions and how it looks like on a shelf. Like, you know, like this doesn't look so bad. Like I think it's, you know, because what I would have wanted was a centerpiece type of thing, like where it's like you just have like this like I would have loved the sphere, you know. But it just, the fact of the matter is, if $1,000 worth of parts and stuff and design can only give a, because like the size of it is what I would want it to be. I think like the size of it is fine.
Yeah.
If we were to get a fully enclosed spherical Death Star 1 with that level of detail, there's no way that it would reasonably cost $1,000. You know, like there's just there's no possible way, because like that's what we get. Like we get a sliver of it for $1,000. There's no way that we could get it for that size for anything less than probably double that.
True.
So it's a little upsetting, but I guess that's just kind of like the reality of it. And I remember I was listening to like a designer interview today, and they were asking like, why do it flat instead of spherical? And I honestly thought it was kind of fair. He was saying that, like, you know, the past two iterations of the Death Star, it was in, I think, 2006 and then 2016. They were both the spherical sort of dollhouse looking things. And he said with this one, he just wanted to do it different. The benefit of having it be a flat diorama type of thing is that you get all of the builds, like you get all of the scenes viewable from a single angle. Like you don't need to go spinning the thing around.
Yep.
And I think that I listened to that and I was like, that's actually pretty fair, you know? And it's like you got to look at this from
my gripe with the other ones is that like you have to really move it around and like look in there to see all the details.
Yeah, honestly, I'm coming more around to it. Like, again, it's a really well designed set. I think that the functioning elevator is pretty cool, like the turbo laser and stuff. There's like some functionality with like the different rooms. I think you're able to pull out certain sections to get like your hands in there better, and also just sort of like display them separately.
Okay.
But it's like it's $1,000.
Yeah, that's a little.
And that's a tough pill to swallow for anything. And it's like I look at that, and you know, maybe if I saw it next to the Falcon, which is like the thing about the Falcon is that it's mostly hollow. With this, obviously, it's full, and you know everything's sort of covered. I don't know if I see $1,000 worth of parts, and like. Again, not to be in like Logan ramble mode, but we're gonna get into it.
No, ramble,
you know,
ramble
it's
on.
like, the weird thing is, I don't think it's that overpriced. I think like if you use like the 10 cents per piece ratio that a lot of people do, like ideally in a perfect world, this set would be $900, right?
Okay.
But
so
you have to take
off.
into account, you know, like the Falcon is 7,500 parts for $850. So that is a $100 like quote unquote overpriced set, you know?
Yeah.
but it's a smaller piece count, so technically, like, I guess the percentage of it being overpriced would be more than if it were just like, going from like $750 to $850 is technically a bigger increase than going from $9,000 to $900 to $1,000.
Mm-hmm.
And like if you take like the AT-AT, which was also 800, that one was about 6,500 parts. So like it was actually
Okay.
less than the Falcon in terms
Oh.
of piece count, but it was still like that thing. So like honestly, I'm like, okay, 9,000 pieces, 38 minifigures, a bunch of which you need to get like the licensing to actually use the character's name and like the trademark and all that
Right.
stuff.
Some of
also
them
just
that are rare.
Yeah, some of them are rare. You're like making new pieces and prints and stuff, because I think I remember like learning about like, the process of that is that they have a certain amount of what they call frames, which is the ability to create a new thing, like for Lego, pretty much. Like,
Okay.
if you have like a new hair color, then that's like a frame that you have allotment to. If you have like a new print, then that's a new thing. Like if you have a new like mold, that's another frame that you have. So it's like, we have Luke Skywalker, Leia, Han, and Obi-Wan. Those are all characters that are having new prints for them. So those are all frames that are being taken up. And so it's like you have people that are complaining about like the lack of like dual molded legs. And it's like it's a better use of their money to have those new prints rather than give them like dual molded legs and make it
I do have a gripe about Leia's minifig.
Oh yeah, no, she should have the dress piece for sure.
I was like, why did they give her pants? It looks so wrong.
What they should have done, because she's like that in the trash compactor set that I have, and she's also Tantive 4, but the thing is that in the Tantive 4, she also had her dress piece, like you're able to switch them out. And it's like we've seen in like the Rivendell set and like the Beauty and the Beast castle that if you have characters with like a dress piece, they oftentimes give them like a different like assembly to make it look like they're sitting.
Okay.
So it's like they could have done that, but it is what it is. It's just like $1,000 is a lot.
That's just a lot of money to spend on anything in general.
Yeah, and spending on like a Lego set, which is not what everybody wanted. Like the concept of it isn't what everybody. So it's like, honestly though, I keep looking at this picture and it looks kind of freaking cool. I can't even lie. Like
it does.
Maybe I'm just a glazer for Lego, and I try not to be.
It's really hard I think it's really like if it was not $1,000, I would buy it in a heartbeat. But
yeah,
that's
but it's like there's some like really cool scenes that we're getting. We're getting the gunner, we're getting the like like the hangar, like the part where they're like TK421, why isn't your comm working or whatever.
Oh yes,
like the little overlook. We're getting that part, so like you can have like the scene where like Han and Luke are in like the stormtrooper outfits, and you can have them like recreating that. And like there's the like office scene, like the control room esque thing, like where Tarkin and all them are. Like you can have that, and there's like the throne room, which is literally basically just the $100 throne room that we have there and stuff. You have like the scene where like Han's like running from the stormtroopers, and all of a sudden there's like a bunch more stormtroopers. Like there's
quite a bit of stormtroopers in this. It really is.
Yeah, I think we're getting 7. No, I think you get 6.
Okay.
Maybe 5. You get 5, and then you get a hot tub stormtrooper, which is kind of fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but it just comes down like it's $1,000. It's a big ask, and the thing is, I've had this before where people with like the Captain Rex thing. Have I ever told you about how dumb that is for me?
Yep.
Where people were really complaining about the Venator. Yeah, and like how Rex popped up in a microfighter. They're like, I spent $650 like to get this Rex minifigure, and you're just gonna set in like a set that's $15. And I personally have always been in the boat of like
that much money just for
if you're spending that much money on the figure, yeah, you're doing it wrong. You should be spending that much money for the build,
Yeah.
And the thing about me is that like when I saw these photos, I was like, I need to not want to buy it, And what helped me is that I wasn't a fan of the build.
Yeah.
Like I just wasn't impressed with it. And the thing is, all of those figures, like I will like the figures that I know for a fact aren't going to be in other sets is going to be Galen Erso, Colonel Yularen, there's Admiral Mahdi or something like that, and then there's like the other General Taji or something. Like the like the Imperial officers, like the Imperial dignitary, the hot tub stormtrooper. Those probably aren't going to be in other sets.
Yeah.
But we're getting a new Luke, Han, Leia, Obi-Wan.
Mm-hmm.
From their A New Hope outfits, those are guaranteed to pop up in a set
Right.
eventually. You know, so like if you're looking for like the new figures, like, and you're not just like an Imperial Glow Shadow fan, don't get it for the figures. Like, get it because you want the build. Is what I would say. You know.
I agree
And
with
I guess that's just me telling myself that too. Like, but the
No, but
worst
you're
part is,
right.
the worst part is, I feel myself coming around on the build, and that is terrifying to me because like
Because you don't want to spend $1,000 on
I
it.
don't want to spend $1,000. And I just can't like, I can't like it, you know. Like I remember when I saw the photos, I was like, it looks a little small. I need to see it to a person. And then it's like I saw it next to the person in the photos, and I was like, shoot, you know. And yeah, there's like some other interesting things. Like I remember hearing that you couldn't hang it on a wall, as much as people like wanted it to. But I think they were saying that you shouldn't, like, you should not attempt it at all because the thing is 8 kilograms in weight, which
I
is
would not even
17
think
and a
about
half
doing
pounds.
that.
Yeah, it's 17 and a half pounds, which is crazy.
That is a little
but also they
insane.
were saying that like since you know, because like with the art sets you can hang those up, but the thing is you're building those flat and then you're hanging it up that way.
Yeah, I feel like they're kind of made to do that.
Yeah, but with this one, since you're building it vertically, like stacking the bricks on top of each other, if you're hanging that up, gravity is going to start working on that. You know, like it's just going to fall apart. You know, so I was like, that's a pretty interesting, like, you know, what a fun, like, I don't know, it's just like a little tidbit on that. But yeah, it releases October 1st.
Let's go. Best month.
$1,000. I don't know. Like I feel like on Twitter it's been very divisive, to say the least.
Oh, for
just from
sure.
Like, everything that I've seen, especially on YouTube, everybody thinks that it's like a big like power grab and like not like power grab, like a money grab and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just weird because like I can tell that there's effort put into it, you know. And like
There
the whole thing about
is.
wanting the scenes being viewable from both sides, I think it's a better use of space, honestly. Like, people are
they
probably
use
gonna
the
have
space
that
very well.
Like, imagine that diameter, but like on the X and Y axis, or I guess the X and Z axis or whatever. Like, nobody's gonna have any room for that. Like,
No,
you know, I barely have room for my Falcon. So it's like I'd much rather have like the vertical space for that. I remember people were the thing that I also don't get, people upset that like the back isn't covered up. Have you seen that photo?
No.
I'll pull it up for you. I think that is a dumb take, honestly. People say that it looks really ugly from the back. That's what it looks like.
Why are you looking at it from the back, first of all?
Yeah. Like, you're gonna put this up against a wall. It's not gonna be a centerpiece.
Well, it'd just be kind of useless. And then like you'd have to take it apart if you want to move things around. So
yeah.
It makes sense
because
for
people were like,
functionality.
they're like, why couldn't you just include like some gray pieces to cover it? I'm like, we're gonna include gray pieces to polish off a side that we're not gonna see.
Right.
Which is probably gonna take hundreds of parts just to do that. Which is just gonna bump up the price even more, potentially. I don't know. I'm fine. I'm fine with it leaving it open. Like, it's not that big of a deal to me. If I can see this thing built in person somehow,
yeah,
I will. That may definitely like help me form an opinion. But as it stands right now, like, I hate that I'm coming around on the build. I actually think it looks kind of nice.
Do you think, like, in Lego stores that they will have this one built?
I can't imagine that they would. Just because, like, the way that Lego stores are, they have very limited space for display sets, and unless they are putting it on like the back counter, which isn't even feasible, or like they have like a whole new thing built in the center to display, it's just too big of a set.
Okay.
But like you know, the one at like Downtown Disney has like the Falcon. I had that one for years. But that one's like built on its side and stuff. So it'd be interesting to see if they end up doing it. If anything, I could see a flagship like Disney doing it.
Yeah, I can see that too.
Yeah, I mean, if I could find
out
some
when I'm there.
place built, yeah. But yeah, I guess that's my general thoughts on the UCS Death Star. I'm literally just split down the road with it. I have no idea whether it's like it, you know. Spend your money wisely, people. Do what you feel is best for you.
Or if you're lucky like me, Your friends will just give you Lego sets they don't want for free.
Yeah, I know. There's
Shout
nothing
out
better than a free
Kaylee.
Lego set.
She gave me the
Yeah.
little 25 anniversary Tantive 4 the other day, for those of you that don't know. So
You should really
it
see if they have
says,
the executor still. I think that's a really good one. It goes like really well.
Oh. Yeah.
Or the
My problem
the home one,
is,
if you're like a rebel
yeah, I
person.
do like the home one. My problem is with the Tantive 4 is I want to add it with my Leia collection. However, I already don't really have room for my Leia collection on my Leia shelf. So I need to reorganize some things. I don't know where to move her
Yeah.
to, because my next big open shelf is currently what I call my Ahsoka shrine. So I don't know what to do with Leia, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the photos if you do.
Yes, I think what I'm gonna do, because I'm trying to be more active on Instagram and stuff, and I will start posting stuff on the podcast Instagram too, y'all. I promise. I have some videos planned, so stay tuned. But when I do start to kind of reorganize some things, I think I want to try and make little reels about it and show off my collection a little bit more, because
That'd be fun.
I have for the longest time in my bio that I'm a Funko Pop enthusiast, but then I realized I never post my Funkos anywhere,
Yeah.
except for like maybe on my story occasionally. So the people don't know what my Funko collection is like.
I should do that for the Instagram, is like do like a little like room tour for me.
You
I'm very much
should.
the Lego person of the group,
Yes.
I think.
Film
But I don't think I've
videos,
ever
and I
properly.
can edit it and put it on there.
Yeah. Alrighty. But yeah, I think that might be all that we have to cover for
Yeah.
this week in terms of Star Wars news. Yeah, where can they find us?
You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, and our new YouTube channel, all at Just Crait Pod. Please go follow, subscribe, turn your post notifications on. If you really like the show, it'll let you know whenever we've posted, whenever we upload a new podcast. And yeah, oh, and Spotify. How could I forget?
Oh yeah,
My favorite
we haven't forgot about
my
you on
favorite
Spotify.
listening tool. Please go follow us on Spotify. You can also turn on post notifications there, fun fact. But yeah, all of our episodes are on there. Our older episodes are all on Jacob's Lightspeed channel, but we have the new podcast channel now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I am Spidey Gal Hannah, Spidey Gal Solo, Logan.
I am Lognacio on Twitter. You could find me there. But yeah, I guess we will see you guys next week. Hopefully all of us are here again. Hopefully there's some good news for you guys.
You're not going to do the bit?
I'm not going to do the bit. And yeah, maybe there'll be some Jack Tuts or something. I don't know. But yeah, it'll be my bit. We're not doing Jacob's. But anyways, we will see you guys next week. Love y'all. Dap us up through the Force. And as always, may the Force be with you.